Conservatives love to point out that liberals and leftists tend to have a lower life satisfaction and or higher levels of mental health issues like depression, anxiety than conservatives. And they're once again confusing cause and effect and or confusing correlation with causation, right? They think that because those people have more mental health issues or that they're generally otherwise unsatisfied with their lives, they take it out and say everything's wrong, everything's bad. But the reality is we can just look at the actual problems in the country and say there are problems, whereas conservatives tend to live with their head up their ass instead of facing reality. But what's important to remember is that this dissatisfaction, these mental health issues with respect to the world around you, political ideologies, goes away when you start to move from words and beliefs to action, to doing something to address those problems. And this is more important now than ever, I think, considering that tomorrow is No Kings protest number 2. They're estimating maybe 10 million people are going to show up, which is one of the largest, if not the largest, protests in history. And if you're a person who, you've never done a protest or done any act of civil disobedience before, this is a great first step for you to get involved. Just show up. You don't even have to make a sign, but you need to remember that this is a first step. And I want to start by saying I don't agree with what a lot of people on the left are saying, and that there's no point to this protest. It's just controlled opposition. It's just designed to take the wind out of your sails. You can go to this protest and not let it take the wind out of your sails. When you remember that this is a first step, then the protest is actually really meaningful and important. Not to the administration, because the administration doesn't care if you don't like them. The administration doesn't care if you don't feel safe or happy or if you have rights. Their only goal is to consolidate wealth and power. Their goal is not to make you happy or free or whatever they say their goal is to you to get you to continue to support them. Their goal is to take power and wealth away from us. It's not about our personal rights or our personal opinions, because their goal is to get to a point where it doesn't matter if every person in this country would vote against them. Their goal is to not have elections anymore. But it is important in the way of solidarity. If you're a person driving around town and you see hundreds of thousands or millions of people across the whole country who are standing up against this, you may start to feel a little more comfortable coming out of your shell yourself. So I do think it's important in that way, but it's also more important that you don't let this be the last step.